Hello everybody and welcome to 10 minutes learning from EduCounts. In this video we're going to understand the polynomials and what are the key features of any polynomial in addition to the differences between any polynomial and monomial, or what are the cases when we can say that the expression that is written is a polynomial. On the other hand, we have some special cases that says that the expression is not monomial or is not a polynomial. So let's get started and break it down. First of all, we need to understand what is the monomial. The monomial, in other words, we can simply express it as in one word as one term. Okay, one term or one thing. This thing could be a number, this thing could be a variable or a product of a number and a variable or a product of any two variables or a product of any number and any or more than one variable. Your number here, since we are talking about a number, so your number could be a whole number like 2, 3, 4 and so on. Your number could be a decimal number, so it could be 0 0.5, 0 0.72, it could be any decimal number. Okay, your number could be here a negative number like -3, -7 and -8. Your number could be any fraction like 2 over 3 and 5 over 7 and so on. So all of these are different types of numbers. So any number could be written as a one term or one thing, or could be expressed as one thing, and that's why we called it as monomial. Okay, on the other hand, we have letters usually used in mathematics to express something is unknown. So if we have any variable like the one of the common variables, which is x, y, z, okay, and m, and any letter like these letters, so we can see that simply it's a monomial in case your variable has a whole number as an exponent. So this is one of the restrictions we need to be aware with, which is any variable should has here an exponent as a whole number. So one more thing is your term could be a product of a number and one variable. So if I said that is 2x here, we consider this as one term. Okay, so this is one term. Since we don't have anything separate them together, so we can consider 2 times by x is one term. And as I mentioned before, your variable should has an exponent as a whole number. Or your number could be like something like this. Your term could be like 3xy, and here we can notice that we have a number multiplied by two variables, or we can write something like this, xy squared. So this is a product of x, which is one variable, and another variable, which is y squared. And we can simply notice here each one has an exponent as a whole number, since the exponent of x is 1 and this is invisible 1, and here is we have the exponent is 2, which is a whole number. So these are the cases that we simply, or this is the official definition of the monomial. On the other hand, we have some restrictions that says that if you have any addition, any minus between any two terms, so that means we are not talking about monomial, we are talking about something else. We will discover it later. And if you have any variable as a denominator, so it's not a monomial. If you have any number or if you have any variable as an exponent, so this is not a monomial. And even if you have any variable raised to the negative exponent, so this is not a monomial. On the other hand, we have the definition of the polynomial. The polynomial is any monomial. So we can simply say that any monomial or any one term written as a monomial, it could be named as polynomial. In other words, we can simply say that the polynomial is more than one monomial or more than one monomial. They are separate by addition or subtraction. Okay, so each monomial in this expression could be called as term, as I mentioned before. If your polynomial has two terms, it has a special name, which is binomial. Like this expression here, we have one monomial, this is one monomial, and on the other hand we have a 2 as a number, which is monomial as well. So we have here two monomials, which is binomial. A polynomial with three terms like this one is going to be called as trinomial, and anything higher than three terms is going to be called generally as polynomial. But we have some special things we need to understand it, which is any number like this one, we called it as a constant. Okay, so this is a constant, that one. So any number is constant. So this is one term, another term. Here is the second term. This is another term. The 2 is a term as well. but it has a special name as a constant. So since we don't have any variables with the 2. So generally in mathematics, if you would like to write an algebraic expression or any expression, so your expression, if it has a variable, it's called algebraic expression. We usually need numbers, we usually need variables, we usually use operations and symbols. Okay, numbers, as I mentioned before, variables like x, y, z, and so on, operations like plus, minus, subtraction, and so on, and symbols like the radical symbol or the sigma symbol, something like that, or the theta symbol. All of these are symbols. So these are the components of writing an expression in mathematics. So here, generally, this is called algebraic expression. If your algebraic expression only one term or one thing, we usually call this as monomial, and any monomial is basically polynomial. So if you have more than one term, you can say it's a polynomial. If we have some things like negative exponent, so it's not it's neither monomial nor polynomial, so it's just an expression. So for example, to understand what I'm talking about, if we have something like this, it's a 3x plus y raised to the power of negative 2. So if we looked at this expression here, we have two terms. So this is the first term, this is my first term. On the other hand, we have here is the second term. So this is the second term. The first term basically is monomial based on the definition of the monomials. But in the second one, it's not. So this one is not monomial, okay? So that's why we call this expression is just an algebraic expression or an expression. On the other hand, if we have something like this, 3x plus y raised to the power of 2, we can simply notice that here the first term is monomial, while the second term is monomial as well. So since we are talking about two monomials, okay, together, they already added together, so this is a polynomial. Further, if we have any polynomial, so your polynomial, it has if it has one term, so this is could be a monomial. So here we are talking about one term only, okay, or just only one term. Here we have two terms, and here is we have three terms. And generally, any polynomial is could be one of these things or something higher than three terms. But any monomial basically is a polynomial, but the reverse is not right. One more thing we need to understand, it is the degree of any monomial. So the degree of any monomial is the sum of the exponents of the variables. So if we have any monomial like a number, any number except 0 has a degree as 0. So any constant is considered as a degree of 0, except 0 itself, it hasn't any degree. And here is, since we have only one variable and this variable has an exponent as 1, so this is the first degree. Here, since we have a here has 1 as an exponent and the b has 2 as exponent, so we can add the exponent together to find the degree of this polynomial. So here is from the third degree, and here is this one, since we have the variable has an exponent as 5, so this is from the fifth degree. So to understand this here, we can simply say that if we have 2x y squared m raised to the power of 3, so what degree is it, this polynomial and this monomial as well? So this one is monomial and polynomial. Okay, what if we would like to find the degree of this expression? Since this one has an exponent as 1, here is we have an exponent as 2, here is we have an exponent at 3, we need to add all of them together, so this is would be 6, so this is from the sixth degree. Further, if we would like to find the degree of any polynomial, so your polynomial should be written first in the standard form, so this is would be better or make the process of finding the degree easier. And the degree is the greatest degree of its terms, like what, or the highest exponent available in your polynomial. So here, look at this expression. We have 2x raised to the power of 3, and here is we have after that plus x squared minus 5x plus 12. So since here the first monomial has the highest degree, which is 3, so the degree of this one is called the third degree or the cubic one. Okay, so this is the third degree, and the third degree, it has a special name like cubic polynomial. If you have any polynomial x plus 2. So this is from the first degree, since we have here the highest exponent is 1 in this monomial part or in this term. So this is a linear one. If you have something like x squared plus 3y like that, or plus 1, so this is could be from the second degree. Okay, so this one is from the second degree or quadratic. So the quadratic is another way to say that your polynomial from the second degree. And one more thing, which is once you write your polynomial from in the standard form says that the highest exponent should be to the left and the lowest exponent should be to the right. And the first number before the variable here is a coefficient, as we have learned before, and this number is going to be called as the leading coefficient. To understand what I'm talking about here, if we have an expression written like this, if we have something like 3x minus 2 x to the power of 5 then plus 2, so we need to and you are asked to find the leading coefficient. What you have to do, you need to just rewrite this expression in a different way or in the standard form. So you need to start by the highest degree, which is 5, so it's going to be negative 2 x raised to the power of 5. Then what after this, we have plus 3x, then we have the constant part, and we can simply notice that the leading coefficient is negative 2. So this is your leading coefficient. That's it. Thank you for watching this video and see you in the next one.